Hello everybody, Mick Diddy here, aka Divine Inspired, bringing you a MyNBA2K17 video. I wasn't sure if I'd be doing many MyNBA videos as I've been mostly doing supercards so far, but I have some things to say, so let's get into it. Let's look at what I'm thinking about today. So we have this job listing I was looking at on Cat Daddy, and I do that from time to time, and it says for a producer, and really something I'm not qualified for because they say 3 to 5 years of experience in internal game development and or publishing. I don't necessarily have any of that, and some other things. Experience in mobile online games, including at least 2 titles shipped start to finish. So, you know, things I'm not necessarily qualified for. But I thought this was really interesting because it talked about some interesting things like managing sub-teams, content, art, tech design, developing roadmaps for projects and different things. Things that would, be important for a game. You know, obviously very important position for a game. And that just got me thinking, if Cat Daddy had hired me to save MyNBA2K17, what things would I enact to make that happen? And I don't want to sound conceited like they would need me to come in and save the game, but it just got me thinking what the game needs to be better and what I would suggest. And the reason why I'm talking about the game being better is because I know a lot of you in the community really turned off on the game this year, can hardly play it, myself included pretty much. I'm very disappointed in MyNBA2K17. Now, all that said, I'm sure the game's doing pretty decent just for the fact that it's connected to NBA 2K17, the console game. There's always going to be a flow of people coming through and probably spending money on the game. It's, it is, in and of itself, it is an interesting enough game to captivate a certain amount of people. But ideally, you're going to have a thriving community, you're going to retain your members, and you're going to have a great game that everyone loves. So that's kind of what we would want to achieve. So if it were up to me, I've got 5 things I'm going to talk to you today about that I would suggest or at least hope to enact if I was over at Cat Daddy working on my NBA. And the first thing is more game modes. There's really only exhibition. Let me pull up the game here while I'm talking. There's exhibition, you got seasons, rivals clash, RTTC, and that's it. That's all you got, folks. And then you look at conversely over at Supercard. There's so many different things I can't even name them all. You know, Money in the Bank, RTG, King of the Ring, exhibition, ring domination, other things I'm forgetting about. And then there's team versions of those as well. There's so many different modes and things to do in there. MyNBA, oh, they have blacktop. Okay, I forgot to mention that. MyNBA has blacktop as well, so which was a great addition. But let's go over to Rivals Clash here. Let's play a little bit while we're talking. I'm just gonna do +1s while we're talking, so you guys don't see me lose. Anyways, there's not enough game modes, and one mode that I would love to add, it would be basically a game mode with mini games inside of it, would be an all-star weekend game mode. And I know there's probably licensing issues with something like that, but 2K has a lot of licenses, so hopefully they could get it done. But an all-star weekend type game mode with mini games inside of it, specifically 4 mini games: 3-point shootout, dunk contest, skills challenge, and the rookie sophomore challenge / game season, however that would work. So basically the idea is, and this is just a rough draft. Obviously, if this was something I was actually doing, we would hash out the details a little better. But you could do a 3-point shootout where there's a certain amount of cards that, randomly the game takes a shooter for you, and you go up against like 10 different other people, a little bit like blacktop, and then based on how your standings are, just like blacktop, you get points. And then you go into the dunk contest. It's the same idea, and you go all the way through it, and then at the end you get your total amount of points, and those points you start saving. And much like Money in the Bank and WWE Supercard, you can save those points and eventually cash them out, not fusion style, like not with recipes like Blacktop, just straight cash those points out for cards. Like maybe 100 points will get you a rare card, 250 points gets you a super rare card, 500 ultra rare, 1500 epic, so on and so forth. I think that would be really fun. Also, you can make it so that, you do the 3-point shootout. Say it takes you 10 minutes. You would have to go on to the dunk contest next, but you could actually just come back and do that whenever you wanted. So that way you don't have to sit there for, 10 minutes each event. That'd be 40 minutes. You could just sit there, do one event, come back later when you have more time to do other events. You could do it in your own time, but you'd have to do it in order, so you can't just keep doing 3-point shootout over and over again. What this would do, first of all, if it gives you something new to do, that would be interesting. Even just with new animations would be great. It would give you something new to do, but also it would change players' perceptions in how they construct their deck. See, right now, one of the main emphasis in the construction of your deck is positions. So whenever a new event comes out, be it RTTC or RC, say an RC comes out, the first thing people do is check the rewards, right? And what do? They check the positions. They talk about the positions. You'll see it on Twitter. That's all people talking about. Oh no, another shooting guard. Well, I have a million shooting guards. And so why do they got to do another event with a shooting guard? Which I get why that's an issue for them. Because say you're the highest tier, you're legendary, you're trying to get, the first thing you want to do is get a point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center, one of each position for your legendary tier, for your quick game, right? And then you want to get 3 of each position for your seasons. Then you want to get 5 of each position for your, Blacktop / RTTC 25-man card deck. So right now, all the emphasis is on getting the correct positions for your tier. Well, you add these mini game modes where you have to specialize in shooting. You have to get players that specialize in dunking, players that specialize in skills challenge. So if that were the case, looks like Klay Thompson's going to be the event reward. Not only are people saying, well, okay, I got Klay Thompson, he's a shooting guard. Now they're going to be saying, I got Klay Thompson, he's a shooting guard and he's a good 3-point shooter. He'll be good for the 3-point shootout. There's other things for people to take into effect and plan, so maybe they would say, hey, I already got enough shooters. Now I want Chris Paul because he'd be great in the skills challenge. It adds more strategy to the game, and that's what we want. We want more strategy, don't we? We want to be able to think about it more or plan on it and things like that. So that's why I think that would be great. More game modes would make it more interesting, and we'd add that different dynamic where you have to think about player-specific skills. So that's the first idea. My second idea would be dynamic duos, and I know my team in 2K17, the console game, has dynamic duos this year, and I think that's a great idea. My buddy Paulie and I have been asking for dynamic duos since 2K14 when we first started playing this app, and so now I think it'd be a great time to add it, especially since my team has it now too. Supercard kind of has had the same thing with the arrows. They line up and then it gives players a boost. It'd be the same idea, but my idea would be to change it up a little bit. I don't want Cat Daddy to reveal who the dynamic duos are. I would like for players to find that organically. So you could be playing with, a dynamic duo could be something like Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant, or maybe not, maybe not Westbrook and Durant. How about something like CP3 and Blake Griffin? For obvious reasons, they would be a dynamic duo. And there would be nothing in the game that tells you that, but if you put them in the lineup, they come together and then they actually charge and they get that bonus. And I think it would be fun because it would add an extra element of discovery. What do they call them? Easter eggs in video games, where You got to discover these things on your own. To me, that's more fun. It makes it more interesting. It gives you something to search out rather than just droning on and playing the game with nothing to think about. I know a lot of people would just go online and Google search the list, the dynamic duos, or, just go on Twitter and ask people. But you know what that's doing? They're going into the community and it's creating more community involvement. That's a great thing. That's what we want. We want community involvement in games, don't we? That's a part of the problem in my NBA 2K17 now, is the community is kind of getting a little torn apart because the game's copy-paste. So more community involvement, that would be great. If so either someone's going to get more out of the game with the mystery and searching out for themselves, or they're going to go into the community and get the answers. Either way, that's a win-win in my opinion. And it could be, you could have some pretty random dynamic duos, some maybe players that played together in college, like Boogie Cousins played at University of Kentucky with Eric Bledsoe. They're not teammates in the NBA, but then you put them in the lineup and all of a sudden they're a dynamic duo. That would be pretty cool too. So that's my second idea, dynamic duos. Like I said, I've wanted that since 2K14, so I would love it if they added it now. My third idea would be changes to Good Agent. And so last year I grinded, 12 hours of Good Agent. I pulled 2 star contracts. That's horrible. That is horrible. That 12 hours of me playing, specifically grinding as fast as I can, and I get 2 star contracts. Now I know you can change the drop rate, they can do all that stuff, but I think part of the problem in general is that players have to grind to get Good Agent, and then once they get Good Agent and they turn it on, they have to grind to try to get star contracts. You're rewarding your top grinders by forcing them to grind more. I mean, they're gonna do it because they're grinders, but come on, give them a break. So here's my idea. You would have a draft board, just like I'm about to show you here. A draft board, just like this, where you have however many cards is on a draft board, 25 or something. You would get a draft board for your rewards for Good Agent. It would be a draft board. And say you place first place in the RC, then each player would get to pick 8 cards from the draft board. Now, when you flip these cards around, there would be different types of rewards you could get from these cards. One would be star contracts, like you flip the card around, it's a star contract. The other could be draft picks. You flip a card around and it signifies 10 draft picks. So you pull 3 of those, you get 30 draft picks. That'd be pretty cool to open up later. And then RP could be another one, like you flip one around, it gives you 1,000 RP. And then the last one, you flip it around, credits. Nothing crazy, but maybe just like 50 credits. And so I'm gonna go on a very short rabbit trail on credits. I'm okay. I actually like the idea now. I didn't initially. I like the idea now of it costing credits to list something in the auction house, because it makes the auction house market less saturated. It makes cards actually cost more RP, and I think it does make the auction house, it works wonders for the auction house market. I'll say that much. So I do like it there. What I don't like about it is that players that play for free, or who either don't have access to a credit card, they don't have money. If you play for free and don't have credits, don't buy credits, there's literally no way you can ever list anything in the auction house in MyNBA2K17, because there is literally no way to get credits to list cards without spending money. I don't like that. I would like them to have at least some way to be able to list cards. So this way, if one of those people is on a team that gets Good Agent and they flip these cards around, you pull, say, two 50 credit cards, it's 100 credits. It's not like you can list a ton of cards with that, maybe only 4, but hey, that's 4 more than you could ever list before. So that's my idea on that. It'd be a way to give people a chance to get credits. Also, you wouldn't have to grind forever. You know, like I say, first place in RC, they get to flip 8 cards. Maybe top 10 you get to flip 5. Top 25 you get to flip 4. Maybe something different. Maybe second place you flip 6. Third place or top 25 you flip 4. Something like that. Anyways. And so that way the guys don't have to grind forever. And here's the other great thing about it. You can do it on your own time. You don't have to select a time for the whole team. Just set aside this 2 to 6 hour time block, people all over the world, to play Good Agent at the same time. It's nearly impossible to do that. So in this way, each guy could just go to their board, their Good Agent draft board, do their picks, wham bam, thank you ma'am, done in like 20 seconds or less. Boom, done, perfect. So that's my third idea. On to my fourth idea, and that is to change up the teams, how the teams are done. Basically make it very similar to how it is in WWE Supercard. Supercard and MyNBA are both made by Cat Daddy. It's not like if they share ideas, they're gonna sue each other. So I don't know why MyNBA teams can't be like Supercard. It's so much better in Supercard. Teammates can work together for the same card. I think that would be great. And then also, like in Supercard, you should take your top 3 players' cards and put it in the team deck. And you have a team deck, and whenever you go to play an RTTC match or an RC match, the cards you use for that match are randomly generated from the team deck. That way you get to use some of your teammates' cards, makes it more interesting, makes it so that your contribution is more real to your team. So that'd be my idea. But the only thing, I would change one thing to that. And I would make it so that the owner of the team, before the event, is allowed to set point requirements, production requirements. Say, for instance, before an RC, you can set it so that each player has to get at least 100 points. If you don't get at least 100 points, I mean, that means you're hardly playing the RC at all. You don't deserve the rewards. And if by the end of the event, by the closing of the event, if any of the players on the team has not met the point requirement that was originally set by the owner, the rewards are ineligible. So that way, you can't get people coming onto teams, locking themselves in and just mooching, just sitting, doing nothing, not playing at all, and then claiming the rewards. It's not fair. If the owner at least is allowed to set minimum requirements, and they fulfill that, then they deserve the rewards. If they don't fulfill that, then they don't deserve the rewards. Plain and simple. So that would be my idea for teams. And my fifth and final idea for the game would be to make ladder rewards great again. The ladder rewards are so pathetic in MyNBA. In Supercard, you can ladder rewards go up to what, 65,000 games played? At some point in time, at 4,000 games played, you get a top card from your tier, and then it keeps going up and up and up, all the way up to 65,000 if I'm remembering correctly. That's awesome. That's great. Why can't MyNBA do that? Look at the ladder rewards go up to 1,000, I believe, right? 1,000 games played, 1 foil player card at your current deck level. Why stop there? I realize you don't just want to give away a bunch of awesome cards, but I mean, the ladder rewards go up super high in Supercard, and it's not ruining the game there. In fact, it's making it a lot better. So just do it. Just increase it in MyNBA, please, so that we can stop whining and complaining about it, because it really is absurd that it's so low. So those are my 5 ideas for MyNBA2K17. Let me know in the comments if they enacted these things right now, which obviously they couldn't right now because that'd be a lot of work. But if they had all these things in the game, I would be playing it non-stop. I would be hooked. Let me know in the comments if you like the ideas, if these were things you would like to see. Also, give me your ideas. I would like to know your ideas as well. Maybe someday Cat Daddy will stumble upon this video. They'll see my ideas. and look at the comments, see your ideas, and use some of them. Make this game that we already like a lot better so we can love it again and make MyNBA great again. Wouldn't that be awesome? Anyways, thank you for checking out the video. Thank you for sticking with me so long as I ramble on and on. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace.